What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over the little Toyota Tacoma that I just recently purchased. I kind of didn't give you guys a little bit of a heads up last time and ultimately just kind of shot you guys straight in through a trail video. So this time I kind of wanted to go over what I got going on with the truck and how it's kind of looking right now. So we're going to go ahead and go do that here for you guys on this episode. And this is just going to go off of a whim and ultimately get this going. So it's a 2009 Toyota Tacoma, and it's a regular cab, of course, so we just got the bench seat up here. And what we also got going on here, it's a 4x4 manual, so very, very hard to find. Not something that you could typically find on your normal day. I just got really lucky looking on every single place that you could think of to try and find it, and I ended up finding it in the craziest of places, which is Craigslist. So I'd given up on Craigslist, but at the end of the day, you really can't. So I want to go over it here with you guys. 2009 Toyota Tacoma regular cab 4x4 manual. That's a lot to say, but at the end of the day, that's what we got going on. So it's been pretty dope. A lot of people are always asking how many miles I got it with, and I got it with 169,000 miles and some change, of course. But at the end of the day, the guy was very meticulous about all his services, and he wasn't really driving this as a daily, more so as toy. So at the end of the day, it was really cool to kind of see that, because I was able to then, in a sense, kind of break it in. So the guy was looking for more of an overland build, and just kind of lost faith in it maybe, or at the end of the day, he did mention that he was a little too big for it. He was 6'4". I'm not that tall, so I know I could fit inside. But let's go over all the suspension and everything like that it actually came with, which is pretty cool. So it came with the 2.5 extended travel King shocks with adjusters. Now that's a pretty penny. A lot of people kind of go for the cheaper route without them. I would have, but at the end of the day, if I have them and it's included with the truck, why not, right? So at the end of the day, I ended up seeing those, and I was like, yo, that is a crazy setup. And he also put the Total Chaos upper control arms, which was a really big plus for me at the end of the day, and that was really, really cool. I've had the Total Chaos ones before. They haven't had any issues, so I totally saw that as a plus as well. Also came with the truck already installed, so I was like, cool, no worries. I'd be probably doing something like that, but maybe a slightly different on the upper control arm side. But hey, if it already came with the truck, why not rock it? So I ended up going up with that, leaving it on there for a while, and I probably might leave it like that for a minute. So yeah, this truck, actually the only thing I've changed is the wheels and tire setup. The wheels and tires came with the 265 70, I believe, 16s. So that sizing might be weird, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the sizing I wanted. It didn't really have any poke, and as you guys can see, it's got a little more poke now and a little bit more of an aggressive tread, because I bumped it up in general pretty much everywhere. So the wheel is now a 17.9 -38. The 17.9 -38 allows for the poke, the tallness as well of the wheel / tire setup, and I really like that kind of look for me personally. I know everybody's a little bit different, more tire, less wheel, more tire, whatever the case may be. This is the setup I chose to go with because I think it's a good proportion. The -38 lets me poke out, and that was really perfect. So the KO3 was new to me. Now, I've had KO2s and all that stuff, which were great, no issues there. And the last KO2s, they were just small and a little worn, but not bad. At the end of the day, I could have managed to go way, way longer with them and just kept it that way. But at the end of the day, these KO3s have just hit the market. And of course, in this size, they've got tons. So I ended up getting these, and I'm really stoked about them. So really stoked to kind of get them out of there and put them out on the trail and kind of get them going. But these are 285, 75, 17, so a little bit wider. And these are 33s technically per the books, but honestly measure at a 32 and some change, brand new. And as they get lower, of course, they're just gonna kind of wear out. I kind of regret it, because at the end of the day, maybe I should have gone 35s, but it is what it is, nothing crazy. So when we come up over to the rear is kind of lacking a little bit, because we got an Adleaf right now. It is raked up a little bit. The guy did tell me he did have a camper on it and sold it before he sold it to me. Not really worried about it, because I kind of wanted more of a truck. That doesn't mean that I won't throw a camper on it myself. I'm just that kind of guy. So I love how campers look on trucks. Yeah, you already have a 4Runner, yada, yada. It's all good, no worries. But at the end of the day, I think we might go with more of a camping type of camper. So Who knows? But at the end of the day, we ended up going, and grabbing this truck. And when we did, we got the add leaf in the rear. Not really stoked on that. I've rocked that before. Honestly, personally, I'm so sorry, but I feel like it's a waste of money when you guys, when we do add leaves in the rear, just because it's just for looks. The minute you throw a paper bag in the back, it starts to sag down. No good. So I wasn't really, stoked on that. I already got leaves in the garage right now that I'm going to go ahead and switch it out with. Just haven't had the time, and they're also rated for a lot more weight. So I don't want to really throw it on there and have a wheelbarrow either. So for right now, it'll do. We also have the Bilstein shocks up in the rear. These are just kind of like your normal regular schmegler Bilstein shocks. Not really stoked on that either, but at the end of the day, it's all good. No worries. It does the job. We already kind of ripped it at Rattlesnake, and they did fine. There was nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this setup in general, unless you're going to be throwing stuff in the back. So if you're going to go, get leveled with this stuff, and then you throw all your camping gear in the back, well, you're going to start riding like a bro. You got that bro lean, unfortunately, and that's going to cause you to kind of look a little weird, unless you like that look. That looks cool for various reasons, but not when it's being done because of the weight. So maybe not the way to go. So at the end of the day, we ended up getting my one-up rack on here because I like to go mountain biking and also road biking. So my one-up rack is right here. Why can't you throw it in the trunk or in the bed? I very well could, but then I have to lay it down. I got to look for a setup. I wasn't really about to do that. I already had this for the 4Runner. Why not just throw it on the Tacoma? And now it's my designated kind of bike riding rig as well. So pretty stoked about that too. When I open it here really quickly, Last Fit was really cool enough to send these out. They're pretty dope. Kind of like this rubber kind of made liner that I'm really stoked about. It looks great, fits perfectly like a glove. And yeah, with the sun, it just kind of stretched out, did its thing, and it's perfect now. It sits really, really well. I like it a lot. So it's really, really cool. So nothing crazy there, but when we come on over to the interior, don't mind my mess. I don't think I'm that messy, but the interior is pretty clean. When you get in there, you can go ahead and see that this guy really took care of the truck. Like, he was really meticulous about everything. He wasn't really the add-on kind of a guy that has the whole cluster full of stuff. And yeah, I mean, really just came with like a bone stock interior, which is what I like personally. And when you jump inside, you just kind of get like that analog feeling of everything. You got roll-up windows, so that's pretty cool. One actually popped off while we were wheeling, so we got that done. You got AC and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. The bench seat, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I'd really like to switch those up for some race seats, but maybe in the future, I don't know. It'd cost some probably welding, or maybe they sell kits for it. I haven't really looked into interior mods, but I don't really want to go too crazy. I want to just keep it nice and clean, nice and slim like it is now. And yeah, it's pretty much perfect on the interior. A lot of people give me props for that. A lot of my friends have always told me like, wow, that's so clean. But that's how I got it. So at the end of the day, this is what we're rocking with. We're going to be changing it a lot. Shout out to the dude that sold it to me. He was really, really cool. He got us I feel like it was a great deal for what we got at the end of the day and for what things are selling. So the next thing is, how much did I get it for, right? Everybody's going to ask, well, these are crazy price. You probably got it for 20 grand, and that sounds preposterous to me too. But in a market where something with 250,000 miles, light mods or no mods at all, and at the same time, sometimes, no disrespect to anybody, but bad mods, they end up being like, yeah, close to 15,000, 16,000, and those are in the 90s as well. So without further ado, I ended up kind of negotiating with the gentleman that sold it to me, and we got it down to 13,000. I was pretty stoked on that, to be quite honest with you. So when I went to go look at the truck, I was hoping to hate it because I didn't really need another truck, but I'm so glad that I got it, because at the end of the day, it's so dope. And it's, again, 2009, newer, slightly newer at least. Regular cab, really hard to find. You can't really find regular cabs out there like that. 4x4 manual, also very hard to find. So 4x4 manual, came 4x4 manual, of course. And it came with King shocks, Total Chaos upper control arms, BF Goodrich is already on, some SR5 wheels, and you can't really ask for more, quite honestly. And all I've done thus far is the wheel and tire setup. I do have to raise this. I do have to raise the front up a little bit to kind of get it all perfect. But at the end of the day, I'm really stoked on this, and it's dragged a lot of my attention towards here rather than the 4Runner. I still love my 4Runner. I just took it out to Hammers and got a little crazy, I guess, in the whoops. So I didn't want to take out the Tacoma because it was already rubbing and I hadn't fixed it just in time. And unfortunately I was camping as well, so the tent's on the 4Runner already. It's just a big mess. But yeah, stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more with this. We're going to get going and start pushing more content out with the Tacoma. The 4Runner's not dead, guys. It's going to keep coming. So if you're here for the 4Runner, you're here for the Tacoma, or you're here for the overall adventure, I really appreciate you guys. Please like, subscribe, comment to the channel. I really hope to see you guys here again. Just viewing, liking, commenting as much as you guys can. And a big thing is sharing. So hopefully you guys share this to all the homies. Really appreciate you guys. Till next time, we're going to keep going with more adventures. Let's go.